good morning. Another episode of Yes Way Jose, and we have, I don't know if we need to make this official, but this is the third day that we've made it official that I am the host of the show. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. We're in a different spot today, too.
Yeah.
I don't know if people will notice.
Yeah, so we got to be flexible. We have things that go on here at City Hall to have a venue to actually talk about our podcast and things that we do in our community. So we want to make sure, first of all, when I look at it, and we have each day that we get to do some really cool things. And today we got a very unique guest we're going to have for you today. But we got to go through our grocery list. And so listen, since we don't have Eli here today,
playing hooky.
Watch this. Yes, and we want you all to know we love to listen to the podcast. But if you'd like to leave us a response, you can go to yeswaymail@gmail.com.
Yes Way Jose Mail.
Oh, did I did it wrong?
You said Yes Way Mail.
Oh, I left out Jose?
Yeah, you left out your name.
I left out my name. All right, let's try that again, because listen, it's not something I do.
He's trying.
I was trying to earn my keep on this podcast. All right, let's do it again. So anyway, if you do want to leave us a response or questions or anything about the podcast, you can leave it at yeswayjosemail@gmail.com.
There we go.
That. So can I keep my job for another week?
Yeah, I guess.
All right, thanks. All right, well, good morning to everybody. We want to make sure we always have a little bit of fun with the podcast, but we do bring on different folks to come out here. But we want to make sure before we always start, we talk about what's going on, because these are delayed podcasts. And so we know what day it is. And so what's going to be coming up? We know that Light Up Shepherdsville is coming up.
Yeah, we're actually 3 weeks into the future right now. So this will be about Thanksgiving weekend, I think.
All right. So happy Thanksgiving for everybody.
Yeah, right.
We want to get that out of the way too.
Yeah.
All right.
So I believe it might be the weekend after Thanksgiving. I have to do the math.
Yeah. And so do we dock Eli's pay for not being here today?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure. We pay real big bucks for this program here, and it's zero.
Yeah, he loves to subtract from zero.
Okay. It's easy.
Yeah, it's easy that way. But anyway, so listen, we have a great show. We always have great shows because we always bring people on. And one of the things that's nice about this podcast is we have homegrown in so many ways. This word homegrown is going to be a lot of things. But I just want you to know, I want to introduce, good morning, Mr. Jim Elliott.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. I would really, and I always do this, I let my guests just come on and talk about their family, their history, a little bit what you want to talk about, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of produce.
Sounds good.
So talk to us a little bit here. Good morning.
Well, Jim Elliott, we have a small farm in Shepherdsville on Cedar Grove Road. Right now it's just me and my wife. Another young lady does all the work. I know it's called Elliott Brothers Farm, but it was kind of a motivation. I had a brother we were planning to do this in our later years, but unfortunately he ended up unexpectedly got sick and passed away. So we never got to fulfill the team thing that we wanted, but we talked it over, and I decided to keep it going.
I think
that's cool. That's cool that you named it that.
So how many acres? How many acres?
Well, we have almost 15. We really only farm maybe 3.
Okay.
We have special techniques in the way we do it, and we really try to do it on a smaller space, but produce a lot in that space.
All right. Well, make sure everybody knows Elliott Brothers, and it's in Bullitt County. And so you guys are located off of Cedar Grove Road. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
We're about 2.5 miles east of I-65.
Okay. So that's important. Can people actually go to your farm to buy produce?
They can during the season, which our open season starts in May, and all the way to the end of October. We're open 3 days a week.
Okay. And then, so I have so many questions. Married?
Yes.
You got she's in charge, right?
Well, I don't tell her that, but if she hears this, then
let's help him out.
Yeah.
Just say
she's in charge.
Jim, listen,
That's
we'd
true.
like you to stay married and being able to stay on the farm. And we don't. What happened to Jim?
He's going to be sleeping out with the produce.
Yeah, it's going to be. Is that Jim out there? Is he in a sleeping bag out there? Yeah. So Jim, obviously, we're just trying to help save the marriage.
Good plan. Yeah, so I like that idea.
Yeah. So where are you from?
Well, I grew up in Highview in Jefferson County, and then about 12 years ago is when we came out here to the farm in Shepherdsville. Although I was out here in Bullitt County and in Shepherdsville area a lot. As a Boy Scout, we had a camp. The Corfridges over there off of Cedar Grove Ridge Road had some land there that the scout troop I was part of, and they let us use about 100 acres. In the woods along Salt River. So I spent a lot of time there as a young guy, and then I loved it out this way, so I always wanted to be out here.
Okay.
And finally, about 12 years ago, that came true, and we got to have the property we're at now. So.
Well, I want to tell you, because I'm in the produce business in my other life, Jim. And Jim, we just briefly talked about it before the show started, but one of the things I need people to understand is it is extremely hard work.
It is that.
And I said, if you really want to know, it's really kind of cool. It's out there in the dirt. Come out one morning with you, Jim, and then let's see what they think about it. Because, again, it is really aesthetically for all of us to think it's homegrown, it's local, it's really exciting. But that work that puts that product on somebody's table, they need to watch it from the seed to the table, and I think they'll get a better idea of what you do.
Well, and that season, it never really ends, even though we say our season ends at the end of October, but we're still out there working, we're still growing, we're getting prepped. So there's plenty to keep you busy year-round.
Sure. So first of all, you got the three of you that work it, and then so what kind of things do you like? I know the staple items that we can grow during the summertime. That's part of the things I know. We always support local businesses and local farms in my other world. But I think for you, you've been doing this now for a while. What is it that you like to grow? What is it that's easier and what's tougher? I mean, because people don't understand. You can't grow things here that you can grow other places, and that's why those areas are bigger, like California, Florida, and Texas, because of the weather. Obviously, they don't have the distinct seasons as we have them. But talk a little bit about that.
Well, we like to try to do things a little different as far as different items. We do the staples. We do tomatoes. We maybe grow them a little different than a lot of people, but we have different methods on that. But we like to grow odd things that you can't get at the grocery store. Certain type of cantaloupe, certain type of eggplant, certain types of tomatoes.
Yeah. Can we talk about it? First of all, there's nothing beats a local grown tomato.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
I'm not a big tomato fan.
Yeah.
I'm not.
They're awesome. Summertime, just a little bit. Oh, my God.
It's always been this funny thing. I don't like tomatoes, but I love ketchup. I love ketchup. It must be the vinegar and the salt.
We're going to break it down for him, Shane. We're going to tell him that one ingredient that's in there. Well, you might like a different one, but I'm telling you, nothing beats it. So anyway, I want to talk a little bit about that because there's a curiosity. For people that listen to this show, there are different types of eggplant. There's a striped eggplant that's really kind of cool, and then you've got. So we'll talk about the eggplants. That'd be kind of fun.
Well, eggplants, it's unpopular to a lot of people, but it's mostly because they don't understand what it is. We like to specialize in what is called baby eggplants, what a lot of people call them, but one of them in particular is called fairy tale. It's a purple striped. It doesn't get but 3 or 4 inches long.
Oh, cool.
But eggplant is normally a little bitter. The skin's tough, and you got to cook it a certain way. Well, these are a little different. They're really good grown. You can cook the skin. I mean, they're really good, grilled, and you can eat the skin. So they're just different, but you can use them in all the traditional ways, but you add a whole aspect of how you can use eggplant in other kind of meals, which is what we try to do, is educate people on that.
Absolutely. And let me ask you a question, Eli. Travis.
I'm Travis.
I'm
going to start calling you my mom.
Don't do that. Because I did it last episode, too. Hey, so do you like eggplant?
I like eggplant parmesan. I've had that a couple times. I've never just had an eggplant.
You can grill it. I mean, it really has.
I've never done that.
Some garlic. I'm telling you.
There's not a lot of eggplants at the store a lot of times to pick up and buy.
No,
you know
but you can go to his farm.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know that. Yeah, now I know.
So another one I want to talk about is cantaloupe, because that's another talk about that a minute, Jim.
Well, cantaloupe, we grow a pretty good amount of cantaloupe. We like one in particular, but it's a small one. It's called a sugar cube. They don't get very big. Sometimes people look at them and just say they're little, but that's not it. They don't get big, but the flavor's real intense, really sweet, and they probably don't get much bigger than a softball.
Yeah.
But they are absolutely delicious. And as people have started to catch on that we have them, I mean, they bug us all summer long. When are you going to have them? When are you going to have them? They can't wait for them.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I love them because I like, cut it in half, scoop seeds out, get it good and cold, put a scoop of ice cream in there, and you just have a bowl, and you can have
scoop of ice cream in there.
He's
getting creative.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds
you need to sell those at your farm.
But they're special, really. They really are.
And it's really neat because I do actually know, because I've seen it. I've had different farmers that I've worked with through the years, and they do try to, because a lot of times people don't understand. Buying local is very important, and the cost of doing that business is different than what we see in these mass farms out in California, Texas, and Florida. We try to educate people on, you've got to know. And I think the specialty piece is really, that's what we treat a lot of the local grown. Tomatoes could be a little closer in price, but even them, the prices are still a little bit more than you would get from amassed volumes of tomatoes from the West Coast, right? It's a little different.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like a different vegetable or fruit sometimes, though. Like the flavor and stuff of the homegrown ones, it seems like the ones that you get from the store a lot of times just seem a lot blander.
They definitely are.
There's a whole lot of process for bringing it. They have to travel a long way.
Yeah.
So we're talking about pulling it from the ground, and pretty much you could have it on your table that night.
It is,
and that's really that's what makes the flavor a whole lot better when you talk about local.
Yeah. I mean, it is. That's what the way our tomatoes are. We grow a huge amount of cherry tomatoes and probably 30 different kinds, and that is good too. You go to the grocery store, you see the red ones, and traditionally, and maybe a few mixed ones, but that flavor that you get, the mix of the flavors and the different varieties, you just can't get that in any grocery store because they're picking them for a different reason. They're picking them because they're going to transport them and they got to keep a long time.
Yeah.
Some of ours don't keep as long, but that's because they're better. They've got different things in them.
So another one for you. This is kind of like your produce course today.
Yeah.
Okay? There's actually,
we're going to find out that I don't eat very many vegetables today.
I'm going to find that out today. So there's a chocolate. It looks like a chocolate.
I do eat chocolate.
No, it looks like it's a dark color one. Do you grow any of the different variety of colors?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So this is for Travis and everybody that's listening.
Yeah. We've got the chocolate cherry tomato. It's brown.
Oh, okay.
It's brown color to it. We got.
That's fake chocolate. I don't like.
Oh no,
that's a trick.
You might even eat a tomato. You start eating some of these.
See, I'm telling you.
Maybe that's where I need to start. That'll be my introduction.
Well,
to tomato.
when they're coming on, I have to get you out there to test some of these for me.
So you made me think of different things, Jim. When we talk about educating folks, because it's really funny. The running joke was that kids think that their carrots come from Walmart.
Yeah,
I mean, they don't realize they come from the dirt.
Yeah, I don't eat vegetables, but I do know more than that.
Okay. Well, we're off to a good start, Travis.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things, Jim, you do this because you love it. I see that people you got to forget, this is not a huge income. It's about the love and being out there working and doing it, because that's what I knew that. As soon as I saw you and I knew what you did, you do it for the love of it.
Well, that's it. You don't get rich being a farmer at the scale we're doing. That's not what it's about. It's more of a lifestyle that you want to live, and we like that. We've always grown a lot of our own stuff, and then when we started getting into it a little more, and we thought, well, we'll sell a little bit to pay for our seeds, and it just kind of took off from there. And so it's a lifestyle that we want, and we do things organic too. We don't use all those
no pesticides,
no pesticides, and some years we spray zero, even though what we do spray might be organic, but we try to not even do that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So you're going to learn another thing.
What's that?
Ladybugs and praying mantis. He's going to tell you about both these.
Ladybugs or Japanese lady beetles, because those are two very different things.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got the beetles in my house.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So just so you know, when he said pesticide free, farmers have a different unique.
Oh, right. Yeah. No, I knew that.
Okay.
Yeah. Ladybugs. Yeah. Praying mantis. They help your garden. Yeah.
See, yeah.
I've grown a garden. I just don't eat a lot of the vegetables out of it.
Who are you growing?
I enjoy growing it.
You just don't eat it?
Yeah. Like I give the tomatoes to my mom and dad, and then
So now you know me.
Well, I didn't grow one last year.
Oh, okay. Well, you going to grow this year?
I might.
Okay.
Thinking about it.
Okay. Remember.
Okay.
All right. Anyway.
So you'll have to come out and help us. You don't have to grow it. You
can
just
there you
come
go.
Out and free help. Free help. We're always looking for that.
Just get my hands dirty a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think the thing that I'd like to do, and I'm always thinking of things for kids to really educate them. If they couldn't come to the farm, we kind of bring the farm to them. We're doing a lot of things in the park. Before I forget, we're building an aquatic center.
You are, yeah.
Did you
know
that?
You got it. Yeah. 13 minutes in. That might be a record.
I didn't. I was going to wait a little bit. I was into the produce piece today. I was really kind of excited about this today. But yeah, we're building an aquatic center. If anybody that's been listening to this podcast doesn't know. But anyway, in the park, we're going to put a 5K trail. And we have Shepherdsville Elementary and Bullitt Middle. And they're right across the street from the park. We're going to put big crossing signs and big lights and make it safe for the little ducklings to cross the road and go into the park. And what I'd like to do is figure out how to do it. We can do, when they come through the park area, I want the kids to see some of the things that you guys grow. We'll put like a farmer's market out there for them, right? Kind of do something fun. I'd love to be a part of that because we're going to educate them on what it is and have them try it, right? Make it kind of a field trip out there in the park. I thought it'd be really cool because they're going to go, Mom, I ate a tomato. It was brown. Oh, that's not good. Oh, yes, it was good. It was really good. And so we want to be able to do that. I think it's just kind of an experience because whether they ever get to it or not, or actually put their hands in the dirt, I think it's really kind of a cool thing. It'd be a great experience for them because we really want to not lose the essence of what it is to grow our own food.
Yeah, it's cool to just show the kids that there are farmers still. You know what I mean? I feel like if you don't, you just, your whole connection to food is just going to the grocery store. You don't even, you don't even realize there's still people who do this,
And I think that's great. I think what you do is fun. I think the unique things that you actually grow are going to be fun for folks to listen and learn about. We do obviously have, I know you're involved in farmers markets. We obviously want to try to include you in anything we're doing, Jim, because I do believe that, first of all, love that you love to do that. That's really kind of a thing for me because I know being in the produce business as long as I have been, nothing beats homegrown. No. I mean, I've tasted most things from everywhere else. You can doctor it up. You can put spices on it. Mm-hmm. You want to put something just right out of the dirt versus right out of the dirt. Yeah. Nothing beats homegrown. We're gonna get him to like tomatoes.
That sounds good.
Yeah,
my mom's been trying for 32 years now.
Yeah, well, you haven't come out and tried some of these.
That's true.
Some of the heirloom
tomatoes.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, the heirloom tomatoes have a very distinct. Some of the ones that just have really different. There's almost a spice taste. You can get some really different flavors when you.
I will eat fried green tomatoes.
Oh, absolutely.
But I think most of that's because of the fried part.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I believe that you're right.
Yeah, I'll eat just about anything that's fried.
Yeah, fried rock.
Just about. Yeah, if it's soft enough.
you'd eat a rock. So, Jim, I don't know. I think for us, we're obviously going to try to make sure everybody that's on these podcasts, we want them to know who you are. So, do you have a website that you have?
We do. It's just ElliottBrothersFarm.com.
Elliott Brothers.
And we're on Facebook.
Okay.
That's where we do most of everything we do put out there for everybody to look at. And it's also just Elliott Brothers Farm.
Yeah, well, we actually want to make sure each one, and I'll get with Amber Odell, who's our community planner, to get something from you to make sure we have your stuff out there because – I love our community, and I love the fact that you do what you do. And, if it becomes a little bit more awareness, more people know who you are, making trips out to the farm or doing something with the kids in the park, we want you to be there because I think the biggest thing is when they see it, it is a wow factor. Mm-hmm. It'll be a wow factor for these kids. They'll be going home, Mom, look what I did today, right? And then they'll remember when they go to Walmart, that's not where my produce comes from. It's just delivered there.
And we do that with our grandkids too.
Yeah,
I mean they were just there last week. They're 8 and 10 years old, and for them we got lettuce growing, and for them have them pick off a few leaves of different kinds and taste it there straight out of the ground, and they get a kick out of it.
So on the lettuces, do you do anything fun with those? What do you do? Anything kind of out of the box?
Yeah, we do. We grow different kinds as well.
Like a spring mix of
we do that too. Mm-hmm. We've got one we call it a farmer's mix, but it's got leaf lettuce. It's got turnip greens, mustard greens, tatsoi, spinach. So you get all these different tastes in it. And that one's turned out to be real popular.
Okay,
but it's good.
Yeah. So one thing, it's healthier.
So
he controls how it's being grown.
Oh yeah.
So I don't say
it's
that
not glyphosate all over it.
I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I mean, they're just at the volume and how they have to protect it and the things they have to do to it to travel the distances.
Did you know that the average person in America has a certain trace amount of Roundup in their urine, just from like all the Roundup.
So we're gonna put this on the podcast.
I'm just saying.
You can make a whole podcast about all
that. Now you guys do a produce box, right? Like a subscription service.
We do. It's a CSA box.
Okay.
And that we only have a certain amount that we do every year.
Right.
But it's we try to do. I think next year we're going to do 12 weeks of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea behind it is that we have it in it what's in season. So you don't get to choose necessarily what's in it. And we mix that up with some basic items, and then we include some of those odd items, and we try to have recipes available and stuff like that. Again, trying to educate people on there's a lot of things out there that you can eat that you weren't aware of. And in the fall, that happens a lot with some of these things everybody uses for decoration in the fall.
Yeah.
Almost all of those are great to eat.
Right.
People just throw them away, but they're really good.
Yeah.
Use them for decoration, and when you're done, then bring them in and cook them.
Yeah. Did you know that about spaghetti squash?
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah, I've had that.
There's some
fried
really,
squash, only fried.
We're gonna get you out of the fried. Jim, we'll work on him.
Yeah,
I'm a country boy, man. We fry everything.
I know, but there's some. I mean, and really, he's growing it healthy for you. You're undoing that healthiness.
I'm balancing it out.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm balancing it out.
Oh my God, I'm not sure we're going in. I thought this was supposed to be a healthy show.
It's still better than Captain Crunch. All right,
is that what your other option is?
That's my other option. That's like my favorite cereal.
That's not a good option with all the artificial flavors in this sugar.
Oh, it's bad. No, I know.
Okay, I think, and we'll get all that information out, Jim. We'll let everybody know about that because I've seen the CAs before. through other farmers that do it. And it's really kind of cool. It does have some things out there. There's very unique things that people really can educate themselves on, but they're really good products. And the recipes, I think, is a great idea.
Yeah, it's a cool touch.
Yeah, they don't know.
Well, that's what I have. Well, the young lady that works that helps us there. She's a vegetarian, and she really takes a lot of time, puts a lot of effort into her own way she eats, and so she shares a lot of that stuff. And that's where a lot of the ideas come from, as far as the recipes, because she's familiar with all of that stuff, how to cook it and how to prepare it. So she does a great job of coming up with the recipes for us.
Yeah. I know you have a schedule, and I don't know if you've ever met any of the folks that are in our farmers markets, but I would love to see a partnership where they would have some of the items that you guys could talk, because all farmers are family. Let me tell you how this works. They may not be genetically the same, but you're a farmer, you're related to another farmer in all fashions as far as the day in life and the things that you do. Then maybe there's some partners that you can help maybe get some exposure here at some of the farmers markets here in Shepherdsville. We'd love to have that. We're going to work on that piece with you as well. But we want to make sure people who know who you are. And would you tell us that email address?
It's elliottbrothersfarm@gmail.com.
All right. And then the website is?
Elliott Brothers Farm.
All right. Yeah, so we want to make sure. Jim, any last things? You said that you got grandkids?
I do.
And how many? Is it 8 and 10?
Well, the boys that were the youngest, I have two that are 8, one that's 10. Little girls and and an older set of grandkids as well.
Okay.
My oldest grandson's 20. He helps at the farm a little every now and then.
Okay,
there you go. Yeah,
he's the muscle for me right now.
Yeah, that's chore age.
So what we can do is, because Eli wasn't here,
he has to go work at the farm for the day. Yeah, that sounds good.
A punishment day or something like that.
Yeah,
and then you might learn something.
Yeah, you give it Beth, and then we'll.
I'll put him on the broad fork. That's a workout when you use the broad fork.
So he won't go back after one day on the farm. He's going to go, no, I don't do the same
he'll
way.
be too sore.
Well, I tell you what, Jim, I think this is really again, one of the things that means a lot to us is because you live here, you work the dirt, and you do some fun things that you love. And I want people to know more about Elliott Brothers and your farm. And we're going to do everything we can as a city, because we believe that our community partners are just you and everybody else that believes in this community. You made a decision to move out here, and we're excited that you're out here. And I'm excited to see the eggplant. I want to see Tinkerbell.
It's called Fairy Tale.
Tinkerbell. I like that better. Let's call it Tinkerbell.
So they actually there is all of the smaller peppers. They're called Tinkerbells.
Oh, okay.
And that's why I was in that. Which one? All the different tricolor ones, and they're popular. A lot of farmers grow those.
We do.
Yeah. So they have a white eggplant. They have the striped eggplant. They've got some really cool things out there. You could just do the way with the Captain Crunch and just go out there. And if you work a day at the farm,
hey man,
he might give you a box.
I want to eat more healthy, but I don't know if I can get rid of my Captain Crunch. That might be my one. That might be my one vice.
You can do it, like give it up for Lent, even if you're not.
Yeah, my after dinner Captain Crunch. That's what I call it. I call it my dessert cereal. Sometimes after I get done eating, I'm like,
did you not
get a little bowl of cereal?
Did you not hear about the sugar cube and ice
cream? No, that sounds good. I didn't know about that. Yeah.
Well, and what you got to do is get something that's not Captain Crunch. You can come out and get some honey out of our house, and you can put that on your cereal.
How about I take the cantaloupe, scoop it out like you were talking about, use that as a bowl for the Captain Crunch.
I don't know if that's going to balance out or not.
Jim, I don't think we're not making the inroad that I thought we'd make with this guy. Well, I'll tell you this. I want to make sure that people know that we appreciate you being on the show, and what we try to do is we try to follow up. Obviously, we want to follow up with you, as these episodes go. In a year from now, I'd love to bring you back and talk about what's been going on, how you were working things, and we hope that our exposure on this podcast, and once we get it out there, let folks know to listen to it, and then hopefully we can keep asking me, where's Elliott Farms? Where's Elliott Brothers Farm? So that you said just 2.5 miles off of 65, correct?
Yes.
All right, and so we'll make sure we get that information out. Jim, it's been a pleasure to meet you today. Now, we're going to make Jim do it, too.
Oh, yeah, you got to.
Yeah, see, every guest that we have on here has to say this, Jim. Now, it's not difficult, but you got to do it. But I'll do a 1, 2, 3. It's going to be love, peace, and chicken grease.
That's how we end the show.
That's how you end the show. Okay.
Yeah, end the show. So, Jim, listen, we've had everybody do it. Now, we don't want
this is probably going to be one of those things where I say it and you all just watch and laugh at me.
No,
we do it together. We all do it together.
We're all in this together.
So we're just breaking it down. But anyway, so listen, thank you for being here, and thank you for doing God's work. I think you're doing great stuff, and I love it. My wife and I will come out and see you. I'll get your number, and I'll come out and see you. I want to come see you. we'll probably get a box or two. I like the idea of doing that because it does. First of all, it supports you, but you got some cool things, and I want to see some of the cherry tomatoes and stuff that you grow. That'd be kind of a cool thing too. And I want to try that spring mix, as we call it, mesclun mix, as people like to call it. But anyway, so we're ending our show. Thank you all for listening very much. And Jim, Travis, and I are going to go 1, 2, 3.
Love, peace, chicken grease.
All right, thank you, Jim.
Okay,
all right, thank
you.
you all.